I'm John Hanna for CityTV.net here in New York City, and we have Paul Obbs joining us from Boston, Massachusetts, or the area of Boston, Massachusetts. Good afternoon, Paul.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Paul, give us a little bit of a background about yourself.
Sure. So myself and my business partner founded AG SalesWorks about 10 years ago. And we worked together in a software firm prior to that for 4 or 5 years, where Peter ran the business development side of the house, and I ran the sales side. So I'm a career sales guy, and Peter is a sort of a career operations guy, I guess you could say.
There you go. And now you have the AG SalesWorks, right?
That's correct.
All right. So we're going to be talking about the lead generation, right?
That's right.
Okay. So tell us about lead generation, because most of the time when people say lead generation, they're talking about some people doing a cold calling and trying to generate the best possible lead that they can, by qualifying them. And the other thing that comes to mind is the you're buying a mailing list.
That's exactly right, John, and it can be just that wide a range. When someone says lead generation, it can mean a dozen different things to a dozen different people. But where we focus for companies large and small, so all the way from a startup company all the way up to a multi-billion-dollar company over the past 10 years, we have focused on the former explanation. So cold calling, direct emailing, automated marketing, but reaching out in a proactive, direct way to produce what we call fully qualified, sales-ready opportunities or leads, which also have an appointment.
Okay, so now that you've added the last part, which also has an appointment, what does that mean? Is it like, are they ready to go meet with a client or with a potential client?
That's exactly right. So we've got an appointment scheduled, but we take it even farther beyond. There are also organizations that do appointment setting, and that falls under the lead generation umbrella as well. But those are just folks that have agreed to meet. They don't really know what you have, or they might have a very rudimentary idea of your products and services. We take it to the next level, where we schedule that appointment, but we also fully qualify that opportunity. So we know that the person that our sales reps are going to be meeting with, or our clients' sales reps are going to be meeting with, understand what the products and or services are, have a need for those products and services, and have the ability and the desire to purchase those products and services.
Okay, so let's use that as an. Can you give us an example on how this works on a, let's say, for example, an industry that you've worked on recently, and how are you going about it?
Sure, absolutely. So we start at the very top. When you spoke just a couple minutes ago about lists and calling those potentially leads, we start with a quality list. We load that list, we build that database for our clients. We reach out using automated marketing to start to warm that list up. And then we get on the telephone and we make the cold calls directly into that marketplace. So in other words, for an example, one industry or one space that we call into is the wireless space, and not wireless telephones, but wireless technology that would turn a large building or a college campus hot, as it were, so gaining internet access for anyone that would walk onto that college campus. So we call on behalf of our clients to college campuses all over the United States, as an example, to see if they either need to build this wireless infrastructure or upgrade the current wireless infrastructure. And if we have those conversations, if that's a need, we go ahead and pass that fully qualified opportunity over to our clients' salespeople.
Okay, so let's say you have XYZ Telecommunication, yada, 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 corporation. They hire you guys and say, you know what, we're going to sell our Wi-Fi systems into a target of, let's say, 20 or 50 schools in the U.S. So you guys do your work, and then you pre-qualify those leads, and you tell them that, okay, well, we have 100 leads that's already have an appointment. So just in case that, because not every single lead will lead to a sale, right? So you give them a little bit
That's
more.
right.
Is that how it goes?
That's exactly right. So it's really about driving efficiency into the sales organizations of our clients. So as you sort of indicated, it takes a lot more touches to get to the conversations, to get to the fully qualified leads, to get to the conversion of closed business. So that's exactly right. So we might reach out to 1,000 prospects or leads, so sort of in that database that we created. Of that, we might have 100 conversations, and of those 100 conversations, perhaps 50 or so have a level of interest, and maybe there's 25 that will agree, 25 to 50 that will agree to a meeting. And then, of course, those meetings occur, and there's a subset of those that will move forward. Finally, coming up with a handful, it might be 10 or 15 closed opportunities. So you've got to make an awful lot of contact, to your point, in order to get to the end result of closed business with a customer.
Okay. Now, the reason for this interview is that we wanted to look at the different strategies of small to medium-sized businesses that can do it on their own at the beginning, and then, if they're looking for something, they might hire somebody like you guys, or the same caliber kind of company. So let's look at the strategies now. So say, for example, you have this guy and they have a telecommunications company. We're going to use a telecommunications company for now as an example. So
Okay.
Joe Smith wanted to sell the Wi-Fi, what do you call that, the wideband WiMAX access for universities or something like that, or schools to have their Wi-Fi into the property. So if he wants to do this kind of lead generation, what does he need to do?
So they have several choices. It's going to be important to reach out directly to their marketplace. So typically it comes down to, do I build it in-house or do I outsource it? Oftentimes these technology companies are more focused on their technology, as they should be, as opposed to wanting to really spend a lot of time, effort, and energy into building an in-house team. So oftentimes they'll choose to outsource. And over 10 years, AG SalesWorks has helped technology companies identify these high-value opportunities. So they'll make the call, or we might be calling them to ask them if we can help them. We'll have the conversation, and what we'll do is we'll look at what they're trying to accomplish. So they'll say, we need to find 10 new customers in the next quarter, okay, or year, whatever that might be. And we will build the team and the plan appropriate to be able to reach out to the marketplace and touch enough folks to have enough conversations to be able to deliver enough leads to help them get to their revenue goals. So technology companies come to us with their goals. We build the support team appropriate to help them get to their goals, and then we execute on delivering enough opportunities to the salespeople to ensure that they meet and exceed their revenue goals.
Okay, but like I said, I'm just looking at the strategy here. The strategy would be for them to contact the school, right? Or do they contact the school IT, or do they contact the school administration?
That's right. So they would, first we determine what exactly their target market is. In this example, it would be school systems.
Right.
So we go ahead and we pull a list together of all the school systems that they feel that they can help.
Right.
Then we reach out, we identify who the right person would likely be. Oftentimes they'll have a title, the director of security, director of technology, whatever that might be. We'll put those titles together, and then we'll start to reach out to them. We'll shoot them an email, we'll put in a telephone call, we'll get them on the phone, ultimately determine whether or not that person is the right person. Most of the time it is, sometimes it's not. If it's not, we will ask them to direct us to the right person, sort of navigate around the organization gathering information all the while on what they are potentially looking to accomplish, what they're running now, etc. And then we have that business conversation and let them know that these are the services that we offer. Here's how we have helped similar schools. Would you like to learn more about what our organization can do for you?
All right. So we're just getting warmed up for this interview with Paul Alves. Where can people find you?
You can find us at www.agsalesworks.com.
Okay. So this is part one of the two-part interview with Paul Alves. Thanks for listening.